Well, it seems that Persona fans are eating very well lately. Persona 5 Tactica has only just come out a short while ago, Persona 3 Reload is coming out within a month, and we've just had the OP for the game shown, but we can't forget the mobile game Persona 5 X The Phantom. It's just announced a new beta taking place from the 16th of January to the 31st of January. Must preface that this beta test is unfortunately exclusive to those in the China region and requires a Chinese phone number to register. However, it does seem that the beta will be coming to Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Macau from the 22nd of January, which is great for fans of those areas. No current words on an English or Western beta, nor release in English areas. With the trailer being dubbed in both Chinese and Japanese, I think there's a good chance that the game will naturally come to the Japanese market, although it's not all doom and gloom. For us English fans, we have been treated to a new 4-minute trailer showing off the new gameplay mechanics and features. So let's jump in and check out the new trailer. The trailer opens up with a familiar scene with Joker infiltrating the casino palace as seen in the original Persona 5 opening. However, he's attacked by Wanda as he ambushes him in the palace, something that definitely didn't occur in the main story. As Joker catches his breath, Wanda walks up to Joker and presumably shoots him before we snap to the game's logo. Now, before we look any further, I don't believe that this means that Wanda will straight up kill Joker in this timeline. I think this just might to allude to how the original Phantom Thieves join, or perhaps the way you recruit them is them being plucked from their universe at the peak of their abilities, or this is just some fun marketing play by the devs. P5X hasn't been advised if this world takes place in the same one as Joker at a different point in time, for example from 2023 or 2024 versus the 2016 where Persona 5 takes place, or if this is an alternative timeline like Marvel's What If series. There are a few for and against points that we can make from both, but I'll go into further detail at the end of this. Popping back to the trailer, we catch a glimpse of Soy running towards the second palace, skillfully jumping in, followed by Closer and Luffy, before topping this off with Wonder. What this cutscene could be used for? I would speculate that this would either be right before taking on the boss of the palace, or potentially this is the opening screen that occurs before the main menu. It would not be out of place for the game to change up the opening menu, showcasing where you're up to. Next, we jump into some daily life, or city walk, as the game refers to it, and we are shown Market Street in Shibuya, with Luffy landing on Wonder's head, snippets of train stations, Shibuya Station Square, and Shibuya Crossing with the day and night cycle being shown. I don't believe that this will mean that there will be an active day and night cycle present. However, I believe this could be the new transition for spending time at an activity like in Shibuya, or just simply showing off the in-game engine. Following this, we're shown some other areas such as Shinjuku, Soshikaya, which is where Wonder's home is located, outside of Kokatsu Academy, and Yonjanjaya's backstreets. The trailer also shows off some locations from inside the high school, such as the gymnasium where Motoha and Wanda are playing basketball, then the library featuring Kiyoshi and Riko, and Shun eating at a ramen restaurant. Shortly after this, Wanda enters Leblanc, with most of the furniture looking to be the same. However, we do know that Leblanc in this time or universe is not run by Sojiro, rather Ina Kakayama. It is unclear whether the cafe retains the same name Leblanc. We then swap to Merope and the protagonist sitting on a pair of blue sofas, similar to ones seen in the Velvet Room. However, this likely takes place in the real world, as the Velvet Room in this game takes on the appearance of an aquarium. If I was to take a guess of where this could be, this kind of looks like a karaoke room or potentially a cafe. Through some basic translation, it seems that Merope is answering the question of what her relationship is with the protagonist, and then probes him to see what other relationships he has first. Afterwards, we're shown a clip of Wanda training too hard and getting wiped out at the gym, and Riko asks if she is tormenting him. The nature of the relationship between Riko and the protagonist is unclear, but her being featured in so much promotional material, I would argue the fact that she would become a party member, but it is very likely that she'll be introduced early and then join later on, similar to Kazumi in Royal. Alongside this, we see Wanda and Tomoko chatting on the roof and eating lunch. Wanda is also meeting with Yao Ling in the Shibuya diner. All of these conversations are loosely relating to relationships and their interest with the protagonist. Tomoko asks him to stay a little while longer with her, and Yao Ling says that she's only a little bit interested in the holy sites for lovers around Tokyo. Whether romantic options are available in this game is currently unknown. Next, we are also shown what the protagonist can do after class, ranging from the gacha machine and the soccer club. There also seems to be a major new gameplay addition being showcased, which takes heavy inspiration from Persona 5 dancing, where Wonder can select one of the in-game songs and perform this on his guitar, in a rhythm-based minigame similar to Guitar Hero. As other NPCs are looking quite generic, I would argue that this would be the music club. Next, we are shown what seems to be an infiltration menu. However, this looks to take place inside of the palace. This could mean that this is potentially a break room, as Wanda thinks that it is a good time to take a break. The options roughly translate to raise the Phantom Thieves, likely begin the operation or continue the operation, cultivate masks, and change lineup. I would assume that cultivate masks means to head to the Velvet Room, change personas or summon new party members, and changing lineup is pretty self-explanatory. But this likely means that we can't swap party members on the fly like Persona 5. We also spy a new party member here. Her outfit is very similar to what I would describe as a Vocaloid bunny. Not much is known about this character just yet. We are then shown what seems to be another entry point for the second palace, with Wanda making use of his grappling hook. After this, we are shown camera footage of some paper lanterns falling back into their original position. Perhaps this could be one of Kaio's navigation abilities. Straight after this, we're shown some Mementos gameplay, which looks to be changed up with some extra jumps and different layouts from the previous entries. Next, we see a montage of puzzles from the first palace and new shadows in the second palace with a myriad of boss cutscenes. Closer is featured in some of these scenes, which I believe relates to the first palace boss. Following this, we get to see the new party member's portrait and all-out attack finishes. This allows us to get a better look at her costume and more of her theme. Based on what we've seen so far, she looks to be a mix of Sophia meets Futaba. However, based on the way she speaks and she pronounces her words, it's very similar to the way a foreigner would speak Japanese, so it is possible that she might not reside in Japan or she's living abroad. This is purely my speculation though. We have confirmed that her name is Yui, a female player that the protagonist meets on an online game, obsessed with acquiring in-game land and decides to grow her crops on them due to the protagonist's suggestion. She has a naive personality and occasionally reveals her ditzy side. Her codename is Bui and her persona is Apsodes. We also get some quick cuts of Kaio and Yaoling using their abilities, and then we're shown a brand new character known as Riddle. This seems to be one of the youngest party members aside from Canton in Persona 3. I did notice that Riddle's outfit seems to take inspiration from Sherlock Holmes, but it looks quite similar to Nanako's detective outfit shown in the Persona 4 anime. Perhaps they get their same sense of justice from the same TV show? Although we don't get to see full shots of Riddle's persona, we do get to see that it is indeed a mech that she can sit in. It does remind me of the mechs found in Chrono Trigger, such as Robo. Straight after Riddle, and we have another new party member, Sahara Umi, a girl in her first year of high school and the daughter of a local member of the House of Representatives. She looks very docile and polite on the outside, but she's actually very independent. Because of her high expectations of her parents, she ran away from home determined to support herself with her own hands. Her codename is Puppet, and her persona is Nemeltes. Following this, we get to see Yusuke's special with a special announcement. This does lead me to believe that this might be a backup member assist rather than a regular attack. And the new party members just do not stop. We get another new one shown off, which looks to be much older than the current thieves. An adult male, perhaps in his late 20s or older. Aside from this shot, we don't get to see much else about him. It is easy to suspect that he might use dark elements, and we do get to see his persona being used, but it is hard to kind of make out the shape of who it's supposed to be. The best from what I can tell is perhaps it is a coated man emerging from a vial or a bottle. Perhaps like a genie inspiration. Next, we get to see more of Yui's persona, and it looks to be a tech-themed bunny shielded by satellites, which I can assume that she'll have electric type attacks. And we also spy Tomoko's special attack using a bow of light. We then get a montage of special attacks, including Soy, Joker's Arsene, Yaoling, An, Leo, Key, and what looks to be the final boss of Palace number 2, after they have transformed into their distorted form. The trailer then cuts to the title, before showing a scene between Wanda and Joker as Joker fades away. The very final scene of the trailer shows Wanda making some tools, before all of the party members send him messages to see if he wants to hang out or chat. Now, that was a pretty action-packed trailer. But as I was alluding to before, I believe that the Phantom Thieves of Hearts shown here are not actually real. They're just strong manifestations of rebellion that can aid Wanda. This has been loosely confirmed as the gacha characters are not all meetable in the real world. However, some characters which were presumed to be not meetable look to be now, such as Yaoling. It may be possible that we're able to use them before we reach them in the story. This game could take the same approach as Genshin Impact, for example, having some cool characters available, but only having their backstories and quests to be filled in later. This could also act as a freemium way to unlock these characters when playing their events. This seems to neither prove nor disprove the theories that this takes place in the same or alternative universe. Personally, I'm leaning towards that this is the same world, but 7 to 8 years down the line. However, there is one thing that does counter my argument, is that Tactica, EY, and Sahara all make an appearance in this game. However, they do not look considerably different from their appearance in Persona 5, which is set in 2016. Perhaps the time gap is more likely to be 2 to 3 years, as this would explain the similar ages and placements in the world. This would also logically allow enough time for Futaba to finish her high school years, and she would be into her college by now. If this was the case, this would mean that Sojiro wouldn't necessarily be running the cafe. Let me know of your thoughts and theories below. If and when P5X becomes more widely available, will you give it a play? I'll definitely give it a go and see what it has to offer. Regardless, if you've enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for future coverage. It was Dwayne here from Dewey HQ. I'll see you in the next video.